Hello everybody and welcome to a special edition of Sports4CLE. I'm Dave Bacon at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan for the Mid-American Conference Football Media Day, and we're pleased to get things started with the Commissioner of the Mid-American Conference, Dr. John Steinbrecher. Dr. Steinbrecher, as always, appreciate the time. Media Day in person at Ford Field feels like the beginning to a normal season. Yeah. I'm going to knock on wood to say that, but is that kind of the thought behind it at least?
We hope so. A lot of things are tracking well. There's some other things we're keeping our eye closely on, but we're certainly in a much better spot than we were a year ago. We know more than we knew a year ago. The fact that so many people have been able to be vaccinated, that has a tremendous impact on all of this, but we still have work to do there. And we thought, as we were discussing, do we have a media day, do we not? Or do we go virtual? What do we want to do? Well, at a time when we're opening our stadiums, we're wanting to encourage people to come back, we thought it was important for us to come together and celebrate the start of college football, and we've had a great day.
And the hope is you can have that atmosphere that is college football. 75th anniversary for the Mid-American Conference, and we're going to take a look at a picture here that kind of celebrates some of the big names that have coached in this conference, and there are a lot of them. Dwight Perry, who's the field over at Bowling Green is named after, Bo Schembechler, Lou Holtz, Don Nealon, Woody Hayes, Ara Parseghian, Bill Mallory. I could go on and on and on. It's a who's who of football coaches in college football that have coached in the Mid-American Conference.
We've been fortunate in the coaches and student athletes that come through this league. I mean, it's just, every year I just kind of shake my head and say, my goodness, top players in the NFL right now are kids are coming out of this league. You can be as good as you want to be coming out of a Mid-American Conference institution.
Yeah, and you know, it's again nice to see. Now, you're also on a committee that is studying a couple of things that we're going to talk about, the college football playoff expansion, name, image, and likeness. I know you met with some of the student athletes here at Ford Field about the college football playoff expansion. Take us through that and where that stands.
Yeah, we've been talking the 10 conferences that make up the college football playoff in Notre Dame. We've been talking for a while about a possible expansion, and the recommendation we're looking at is a 12-team playoff that the 6 highest rated conference champions would be in, and then the 6 next highest ranked teams would be in. I think it's a great opportunity. And so we're in a little bit of a communication mode right now, talking with presidents, directors of athletics. Met yesterday with our student athletes and walked through what we're talking about, what we're looking about, what it would entail, what are the issues we are chewing on, so to speak. I'll meet later this week with our faculty athletic reps to review this. And right now the feedback has been very positive. I think the positives of this are that it's fairer, it's more equitable, and in fact will bring greater attention to more teams throughout more of the season. Under the current system, one of the unintended consequences of a 4-team playoff is by the time you get through September, you're down to about 10 or 12 teams that are maybe still in the hunt. And the natural reaction is the national media and others kind of look away, and the vast majority of teams still have a lot to play for. Well, if we go to a 12-team format, in the modeling we've done, we'll get into mid-November and still have somewhere between 40 and 60 teams still in the hunt. It's going to bring more relevancy deeper into the season. It makes our regular seasons more valuable, makes our conference championships more valuable. It's going to assist us with ticket sales. It's going to assist us with TV ratings. I'm not seeing a lot of negatives with this.
Yeah, and the other thing is it gives the guys that aren't necessarily from the Power Fives, the guys that kind of have gotten fit into that 6 or 7 range, it gives them a legitimate chance.
It's certainly more equitable for the less high-profile conferences, because we're going to get in there, we're going to win some games. I guarantee you it will happen, and that's the beauty of March Madness, right? You get these incredible matchups, and then you get these upsets and things, and that really brings a lot of energy to it. Same thing will happen here. The challenge we have is, as opposed to what we've done in basketball where we've devalued the regular season, we need to make sure we keep the regular season of college football the most valuable, most vibrant regular season in all of sport. I think we do that with the 12-team playoff.
So let's change our focus just a little bit. Name, image, and likeness, NIL. You're also on a committee that was studying that. When you look at that, how do you view it? And I guess my question is the name, image, and likeness a little different at a place like Ohio State and some of the bigger schools, as opposed to some of the lesser non-Power 5 conference?
To be determined, right? I don't think it's going to flip the intercollegiate athletic world upside down. First and foremost, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for student athletes who want to take advantage of some opportunities that may be there for them. It's, quite frankly, a great multidisciplinary program, a chance to build your brand, learn some marketing skills, learn some communication skills, learn something about contracts, about taxation, all of those things, right? Those are all positives. The challenges are where my concern is the fact that we as an association, the NCAA, we failed to put in place regulations, and instead we now have the states in it. And so we have different standards across different states. We need a national standard. So we're working with Congress to try and see if we can't get federal legislation so we can have a national standard, have some level of national oversight so that in fact it doesn't become an inducement for recruiting or for staying at that school. That will be important as we go along, but in terms of the student-athlete experience, in terms of the educational experience, NIL is a great thing.
Yeah, and again, the point that you're making is there has to be oversight and guardrails, if you will, to make sure that it's not the booster who wants to give, $1 million to.
Correct. That is absolutely right.
Dr. John Steinbarker, as always, appreciate the time and the insight. Thanks very much.
So good to be with you. It's time for action, and it's time to fly the flag.
And it's time for us to take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we're going to dive into it. We'll hear from the players and the coaches from the teams getting ready for football in the Mid-American Conference. It is MACtion. We're going to take a quick time out. You're watching Mac Media Day on the football side of things here on cleveland.com as well as MLive. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with a side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day 2021. We begin with the Toledo Rockets and head coach Jason Candle. Coach, appreciate the time very much. A lot of guys coming back. What does that enable you to do for this season?
I think it's an exciting time for our program. I mean, it's a unique season coming off the COVID year, and a lot of veteran guys back, a very mature group of guys, a lot of guys on our team that have their undergrad degree in their hand, even a couple guys that have their master's degree in hand already. So very mature group, a fun group to coach. You're not spending your time on all on life skills stuff, which sometimes when you have a young team, that's what that becomes the main thing. But you can really coach football and really get down to business. And it's, like I said, it's a great group of guys to be around.
A lot of veteran leadership on that offensive line, particularly with Tyson, who's been banged up and injured his 7th year, senior. What does that enable you to do? Your center that's played so many games, knows the program. Is that a big advantage?
Bryce is a tremendous leader. Bryce is a guy that's been through the thick, the thin, and had some tough moments at Toledo. He was part of a championship football team and part of some teams that didn't maybe reach their full potential. But a guy that we really count on and lean on for more than what he provides as a player. Everybody knows he's a great player, but he's a tremendous human being. He's a very mature guy. He's married already. He has 2 degrees in hand, and really gives more than what he takes, and has been a model citizen and a pinnacle of our program for the last 6 years.
And we're speaking about Bryce Harris, the center. Does that give you an advantage because he makes the line calls? He does. I mean, there's not much that he's going to see that he hasn't seen before.
Well, I mean, there's injuries are part of football. Things happen, and unforeseen circumstances do pop up. And when those things are, sometimes it's chaos around you, and you want the guy that's got his hand on the ball the entire time to be a a model of consistency, and I think that's what he's been for us so far this year, for his career, and will be this year.
4-2 last year. Defense made a pretty big leap. You have 2 co-defensive coordinators that are new. Kind of a strange year to come in and bring them in. Do you expect that group to even kind of ascend a little bit more?
Well, it was hard. It was hard to have that change happen in a year that you couldn't spend a lot of time with your guys through the spring and the summer. But I thought they did a tremendous job. And I think the main thing what they did a really good job of is instilling a belief system in our guys that they could play championship defense at Toledo. We return everybody back into 2 deep on defense, which is a huge thing. And it's a good group of guys that are very talented and very mature, so it allows you to be more multiple and allows you to do different things. But I thought, Vince Karras and Craig Kuligowski, those guys, and that whole defensive staff really did a great job of giving the players a great message, and the players did a great job of carrying that message out.
You have a couple of really tough non-conference games, Notre Dame, Colorado State. How do you view those? I mean, is that, if I'm a player, I'm like, yeah, let's go show them what we can do.
Opportunity. I mean, tremendous opportunity for our young people to be, in those arenas. We played at Colorado State in 19, and they're coming back to us this year on the back end of a home and home. And Toledo's been a place that's always attracted really good non-conference opponents. But I think that non-conference schedule sets the table for what you want to do, and you want to return here on December 4th and get back here to Ford Field, and that's the goal of every team right now. And as you know, everybody's undefeated now. So, but yeah, I think that helps set the table and really kind of gives you a gauge of what your team's going to be.
When you look at some of the keys for this group, if I could say, okay, if this goes well, you're going to be in pretty good shape, what would you say?
I think continue to grow as a football team. We have a mature group, but you're only as strong as your weakest link. Our young players got to get up to speed on how things work, and this year's been somewhat of a return to a normal lifestyle through the summer, and hopefully will be for fall camp in the season. So we've been able to have a little bit more of that than years past. So I think we're excited about that, just excited about the growth process. But I think the key thing there is to continue to grow as one and really learn from the adverse moments that come up during the season, because we know those are coming.
How anxious are you to get back to playing football at the Glass Bowl with fans, with cheerleading, the whole experience that is college football?
Well, I think the pageantry of college football is what was missed last year. We have some seniors that have come back and decided to take an extra year of eligibility, and I think that had a major part to do with it. I mean, senior day at the Glass Bowl with no fans and maybe your parents there is not the script that you maybe started out with. So being able to have a true senior day, being able to have our a unique fan base that we do have, and a very one that's very passionate about our program and our product back in the stands, I think we couldn't be more excited about that.
Jason Candle, head coach of the Toledo Rockets. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate you very much.
All right, Jason Candle. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we will hear from a couple of the Rockets players. We're at Mid-American Conference Media Day, Ford Field in Michigan, here on cleveland.com and M Live.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues with a couple of Toledo Rockets players. Center Bryce Harris, a 7th-year senior, has been banged up. And we also have another graduate, Tyson Anderson, a safety from the Rockets. Guys, appreciate the time. Bryce, let me talk to you. Came back for, it will be your 7th season. You redshirted, you were injured, COVID. What brought you back?
I could sit here and talk about that for 30 minutes to an hour. But, just to make it short, the main thing was I felt like, that 6 game season wasn't enough, to show my talents the way I wanted to. And also, me coming back, I was able to finish up my master's program and get my degree. So, those two were the main important things. So, I'm just glad that I'm back. I'm glad that I'm healthy. I'm glad I got my degree. Everything seems to be going the way that I planned on it, so I'm happy to be back.
Are you completely healthy? That was the next question. I want to hear you say that. And how good does it feel to say I'm completely healthy?
It feels great. After all the hard work I've been through, you know, the ups and the downs, the trials and tribulations. You know, it feels great to know that I'm healthy right now, but you know, I learned my lesson. So, you know, I'm focused and more shifted to prehab before rehab. You know what I mean? So I'm still in the training room. I'm still getting treatment every single day as if I'm still injured, just to kind of stay ahead of it.
Take care of your body.
Absolutely.
Tyson Anderson, you're also a graduate.
Sir.
What brought you back to play another year of football?
Truly just I didn't want my senior year to be cut short, and that was pretty much the biggest thing. I feel like I played well, but I didn't do enough in my heart, and I feel like I wanted to go out one more year with my guys and the people I came in with, to go out with my senior year with a bang and play the whole season really.
So Tyson, your safety, pretty much everybody is back.
Mm-hmm.
New defensive coordinators last year, co-coordinators. Defense took a big step up.
Oh, yeah.
How do you guys feel about this year, your defensive unit?
We're super confident. If you come around, we're a confident group of guys. We know we put the work in, we know we put the time in, and our defensive coaches do a great job of harping the details and staying on us when we play super well, and staying on us the same way when we don't play as well as our expectations are. So we have high expectations for ourselves, and the defensive coordinators do a great job, and all our coaches do a great job of just kind of harping the details and just keeping us humble and keeping us honed in on game by game and day by day in practice.
Now, two defensive coordinators came in last year. What was the biggest difference? What did they bring that you think kind of helped you guys?
Yeah, I feel like it was a kind of a different mentality. We go out and kind of attack people. We was going to not sit around. They kind of came in and they didn't have truly a scheme when they first came in. It was more so kind of how we were as players, and kind of just defined our scheme as far as how we play. We were fast, we were quick, and we can play man-to-man coverage, and they kind of defined our scheme as far as that. So I feel like that was one of the biggest things as kind of a senior looking at it as kind of a upperclassman and a smarter guy on the team, and I just think they did a really good job of doing that.
So Bryce, not much in college football that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
What do you tell the guys? I mean, what's the message on that offensive line? Offensive defensive line is usually where games are won.
Mm-hmm.
What are you telling your guys?
Right now I'm just telling everybody, to remain humble and to continue to try and get better every single day. I think that's the most important piece of this, especially during this time of the year, as camp is coming, as camp's approaching. I tell them all the time, we may all have different goals in terms of our personal goals, but we all want to MAC championship, and the only way we'll do that is if we play as a fist and not just one hand with 5 open fingers. So, whether it's me that has dreams right now of keeping my starting spot and, becoming an all-MAC guy and making it to the NFL at the end of the day, there's, freshmen that just want to touch the field or they just want to get second string. But at the end of the day, we all have room to grow, and we got to do it together. So that's what I tell them every single day.
Well, Bryce Harris and Tyson Anderson, appreciate the time, guys.
Yes,
good luck in 2021. A couple of guys from the Toledo Rockets. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, more Mid-American Conference Football Media Day 2021 from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it?
Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues. Bowling Green Falcons head coach Scott Leffler. Coach, third year as the head coach. Last year, a little different because of just COVID and how that went. When you look at where you are heading into this year, have you seen the building blocks that you wanted to see?
Yeah, night and day. It's interesting that you asked me that question yesterday whenever we went out for our workouts. We're a totally different team. The mentality's different. They like each other. They trust each other. And we've done a really good job recruiting. Our staff has done a great job of bringing great people into our program. The problem right now is we're super young, like beyond young. And, you know, we look back at the pandemic year, and as miserable as that was, you know, we treat it like it was a blessing in disguise. We were able to play a ton of freshmen and be able to, for them to understand about how difficult it really is to play college football without size, without strength, without experience. And when we get this thing turned the right way, we're going to look back and be extremely thankful for a very difficult situation in our country.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You're mentioning young, and there's a lot of guys that have, you know, multiple fifth-year seniors, and that's got to be a challenge that you got to deal with and you got to meet.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and we're relying on guys like Sam Neveroff and Jordan Anderson, who you're going to talk to. They normally a freshman looks at 25 seniors and goes, okay, that's how I'm supposed to do it. That's exactly. And right now they're listening to coaches. So we're a coach-driven team right now, and it's not because the players want it to be a coach-driven team. It's just because of how much youth we do have in the program. So the few seniors and the few older guys that we have, they're really essential to our team to teach these younger guys of how we do business. So we're halfway through the business plan. We knew whenever we walked into it what we were going to do, and we're going to get there. And just like I said, when we do, it's going to be unbelievably rewarding.
What areas, if I was going to say, boy, this group is going to kind of take off a little bit quicker than maybe even you thought, what area do you think would help kind of this year be more successful and move you up the chain quicker?
The philosophy when we came, and it doesn't matter if you're at the Big Ten or the SEC, the area that takes the longest to develop and wholesale change is the guys up front. And in recruiting, if you look at who we've recruited, it's been big guy, big guy, big guy. And you know, the philosophy was in year one and year two, we knew what was going to occur with the season. It was getting as many big guys as we can, develop them, and then the skill guys can catch up. So, you know, we need to make sure that that we go and get some speed and some guys that can score, but we had to handle the guys up front. So we should see, as young as our offensive line is, as young as our defensive front is, you should see improvement. And just like I said, thank goodness for the COVID year, because they got to experience that, and it was no harm, no foul.
How excited are you to have fans, the band,
oh my
cheerleaders?
Gosh. I don't think it doesn't matter to the coaches, but my goodness gracious, as a player, that's what college football is all about, the band, the fans, the build-up, and I'm excited for every single college football player, not just our players, but across the board, college football in general, to have that opportunity. You only get 12 shots. You work your tail off, and if you really do the math, you're only playing on one side of the ball about 35 minutes a year. When it's all said and done, if you really take 8 seconds by the times the amount of plays that you play, that's not a lot of time. And for those guys to be able to play in front of a crowd, I think is going to be great.
So before I let you go, Tennessee and Minnesota among your non-conference schedule. How excited and how do you view those games? I mean, those are pretty good teams.
It's great. Knoxville on a Thursday night coming after a pandemic. We're going to work on crowd noise, I can promise you that. A lot of our young football players will have the biggest, largest eyes known to man for the first 5 snaps, and then they'll get into it and realize it's just football. But that coaching staff that they just hired down there is great. They're gonna flip it. They're really good. I've worked with a couple of them, and they've got the right formula. And then PJ at Minnesota's done a fantastic job. He was in the MAC. He's did a great job with Western Michigan, and they've got a good formula too. So we're just copycatting those formulas and getting us back to our standards and expectations that we have at Bowling Green.
Scott Leffler, head coach of the Bowling Green
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much.
We're going to step aside. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Falcons as we continue from Mid-American Conference Football Media Day, Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
We continue with MAC Football Media Day from Ford Field. A couple of Bowling Green Falcons offensive linemen, Sam Neveroff, and defensive back, Jordan Anderson. And guys, Coach alluded to this. We'll start with you, Sam. Young team, very young team. How do you approach that?
It kind of creates the kind of ability to form, your own culture, and with, so little few guys from, the old staff and everything, and the coach is talking about this new culture, and kind of allows these young guys to come in and buy into what we're trying to do at Bowling Green.
I ask you the same question, Jordan.
Well, really, with us being so young, it's kind of hard, like you said, to like how you usually come in, you see the seniors, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. We're just trying to build a culture as of right now, and I feel like we're doing a good job of that as we speak, with going through a full winter and a full spring. I feel like it's coming along, and the guys are all like buying into the standard now. So now we can have a culture and an image and an idea of what everything's supposed to look like.
So you're a defensive back. Tell me about that defensive unit. What do you guys want to be? What do the Falcons want to be on the defensive side of the ball when everything's going right?
We want to be aggressive, smart, fast, and physical. And I think our defensive coordinator approach, he preaches that, run to the ball at all times, do our assignments well. It's all about team football. So as everybody doing, all 11 positions playing the right assignment, we're all going to be great. And I feel like we can do that with the pieces that we have, just with the D lineman, linebacker, and the secondary. I feel like we're all coming together. So when we're all on the right page and the right accord, it can be right. It can be great.
Sam, offensive line is young. What do you guys say to each other? What's the message in that group? Because you're going to have to do some things well for the Falcons to be successful.
Just trying to, a few of the guys, a few of the younger guys, they've been in a rotation last year, which is nice because, they kind of get those first couple of game jitters out of the way, and, kind of get a feel for how it's going to be. And, just trying to play fast and, physical is basically our name of the game.
It's third year for Coach Leffler. Do you guys kind of understand where the program is, where it's going, based on being in it for a couple of years now?
Yeah. Coming in, trying to deal with, we don't know them, they don't know us, and then, finally kind of starting to understand each other and understand what we're trying to do and whatnot. So hopefully this year goes a lot better.
Let me ask you this. So, Jordan, there's some opportunities there. You play Minnesota, you play Tennessee. How do you guys view that? I mean, you're a young team, but you're going and playing in some really hostile environments.
Right. We just view it as opportunity, honestly. If we can do good in those big games against those Power 5 teams, that can put an image out there and a word, a buzz that, BG is back and they're coming to play. So I feel like that's the most thing we go into is opportunity and see what we can do. Everybody said they wants to be the best, you got to play the best. So really, that's our opportunity to show it right then and there.
Now, Sam, I know you guys are young. How confident are you that you guys can go up a step or two?
I'm pretty confident, with the coaches helping us out and everything, and then kind of the few older guys that we have, they're really kind of stepping into the roles of being leaders and trying to push everyone along, and the team's starting to mesh more and more and kind of create that chemistry.
Sam Neveroff and Jordan Anderson, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Bowling Green Falcons in 2021. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. More of Mid-American Conference Football Media Days right here on cleveland.com and M Live. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mac Football Media Day continues with the Akron Zips. We're happy to be joined by Tom Arth, head coach of the Zips. Coach, appreciate it. Doesn't seem like it's the third season already, and it's probably because you got hired late, you had a COVID year, so almost a normal year, getting ready for one, we hope?
You know, we certainly do, and it is. It's been a really interesting, I guess, 2.5 years for us. That, as you said, doesn't quite feel like 3, but you know, it's been a great process. It really has. Been really proud of the way our team has grown and developed, and we're very excited for the upcoming season.
Yeah, and it's a regular season, quote unquote, as opposed to last year. Have you kind of seen the development that you had hoped to from when you came in late, you know, a couple years ago to where you are now, getting ready for that third year?
Oh, absolutely. And I think really, you know, kind of going back to the COVID year, 2020, and, you know, our training camp was a little bit off, and, you know, we were able to play 6 games, and I think that those 6 games were so important for our team, so important for the development of our roster, you know, as young as we are. But then being able to come out of those 6 games, be able to make some improvements in some areas, create a little bit of momentum heading into our off season, and be able to go through an entire winter, an entire spring, a full summer, and now getting ready to embark on a full training camp is just, it's so important. It's what our team needs. You know, most of our guys haven't been a part of a full training camp. I think we had about 5 players in our program heading into spring ball that had ever participated in spring practice. So, you know, getting this full cycle for our team has been really important in our development.
Who are some guys that you're excited about that could have, you know, the type of breakout years that maybe a Tion Dollar did a season ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a number of those types of guys. I think we have some players coming back with a lot of experience. Some guys that were true freshmen in 2019 that started, you know, 6 to 12 games for us. You know, guys that, you know, started all 6 games last season for us. So there's so many that I think are really just going to be coming into their own this year that I'm excited about. I think the 2 guys that are here with me at Media Day, you know, are certainly 2 guys that are more experienced, more veteran players in our program that have done some great things. But, you know, personally very excited, you know, about their opportunity to really impact our program in quarterback Cato Nelson and our inside linebacker Bubba Arselanian. Both those guys have had outstanding off seasons. They've worked very hard. They've been great leaders in our program, and I'm excited to see, you know, how they come in and compete this training camp.
If I was going to say, you know, if you could make sure that one group kind of develops, a position group, and that would help kind of push things along this year, where would that be?
You know, I think it would be up front, really our offensive and defensive lines. I think we played 4 freshmen last year on the offensive line. They did a really nice job and gained some great experience. We need to continue to get better on that area, but then we also need to play better on the defensive line. You know, we'll have a new look, you know, in our defensive line. A lot of new players in that group. Some, you know, leaner, more athletic type of body types that are quick, explosive. Strong players, so we're excited to piece that together and figure out how to put those guys in the best position to be successful.
So non-conference games include Auburn and Ohio State. How do you view those? Do you view them as opportunities? I mean, it's going to show you where you need to be, where you need to improve on for the Mid-American Conference.
No, absolutely. We certainly look forward to them. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for our team. You know, so much of our roster, you know, grew up, you know, in the state of Ohio, and we have a good percentage of our roster that grew up in the South, grew up around SEC football. So having the opportunity to go play at Auburn, go play at Ohio State, you know, that's a big deal. And as a coach, you know, those games we really take a lot of pride in, you know, in our ability to put together a really great plan that our players believe in, and that gives them an opportunity to go out there and be successful, play in and play out. And I think that's a challenge that we have, you know, as coaches, is to put them in that position where, you know, we can go have great success against programs and teams like that because of the positions that we're able to put our team in. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it.
Tom Arth, head coach of the Akron Zips. Appreciate the time. Best of luck
thanks,
in
Dave.
2021.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Tom Arth, the head coach of the Zips. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out on the other side of the break. We'll hear from Cato Nelson and Bubba Arselanian, a couple of Zips football players. It's Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, here on cleveland.com and MLive.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Mac Media Day continues. Cato Nelson, quarterback, inside linebacker, Bubba Arselanian from the Akron Zips. Cato, I have to ask you, are you healthy? I know last year you kept battling. Are you healthy? And how long has it been since you have been healthy?
Yes, I'm healthy. So the whole 2019 season, I pretty much played with a banged up shoulder. I had a grade 3 AC sprain. I played with that throughout the season and was getting ready for the 2020 season, and then they canceled it. They canceled that season, so I opted to get the shoulder surgery that I needed, and they restarted the season again. So I had to sit out last year, and these last couple months I've been rehabbing really good, and now I'm healthy.
How excited are you to get back on the field?
I'm super excited. I miss my guys. I miss being out there, and I just miss the game.
Bubba, you had an outstanding year, and as I look at this, you led all of the NCAA 7.8 solo tackles per game. That's a boatload of tackles, style of play, and what you want to see from yourself.
I'm trying to chase that ball, trying to get that ball. We're always fighting for it, trying to knock it out, and it just happened to be the first one there every time, I guess. Hopefully we get the guys rolling this year and get them really into the game plan.
Coach Arthur in his third season, have you guys kind of seen the steps to the program, and do you feel you're kind of poised to take another big step this year?
Yeah, we definitely got some good recruits in. Coaches have done a great job of that, and the ability of the players coming in, we just keep growing, and it's time to lead them and get them in the right spots and be able to execute this year.
Cato, same question. You've been around the program for a little bit. Do you kind of feel like you're poised to maybe take that step?
I do, and like Bubba was saying, we're growing each year, and it's a good thing to see. Coach Arf, every year, he's hard on us, he gets on us, and we've just been progressive.
Tell me what you expect this offense to be like this year.
I expect a lot of this offense this year. We got our basically our entire O-line coming back. We got a back who just averaged 6 yards a carry, so we want to improve on that. So this year I see a lot of explosiveness from us, and I see a lot of big plays.
How excited are you to play with Deion Dollar? That's the back you're talking about. That gives you some options as well.
Yeah, I'm real excited. To have a guy like that in the backfield, it takes a lot of pressure off me. It takes a lot of pressure off our coaches, and it just takes a lot of pressure off our offense. To be able to hand the ball off and not have to sit back and throw the ball every play, it feels real nice.
Bubba, what about this defense? What do you expect style of defense, and what do you want to see from this defensive group?
I'm excited about the guys we got in. Good fronting D linemen, a couple DBs. Key players. AJ Watt. He's going to have a good year. Corey Thomas. Linebacking core is going to be great, and really looking forward to that. Kind of fly around the field. And have some ability out there.
Have you kind of seen your game grow from when you came in as a freshman to where you are right now?
Yeah, definitely. Coming in, playing special teams my freshman, sophomore year, and kind of getting into that role. I really just have seen it progress, and the game slowed down for me to get a really good understanding for what's going to happen out there.
Is that the biggest? What's the biggest difference from Bubba Arselanian as a freshman to where he is right now?
I've just been progressively in the film room, meeting with coaches, game planning, making sure I can execute out there and make adjustments on the fly.
Kate, I'll ask you the same question. You've been around the program for a while. What's the biggest difference from you when you came in to where you are now as a veteran guy who's getting ready to get back on the field?
Right. Obviously, I have a lot of experience now, and now I've turned into like one of those veteran guys, that has helped guide some of the younger players. Sitting out last year, like I said, I got a chance to be really hands-on with all the other players and be really helpful.
So I think now, at this point in my career, I'm a better leader. I think, I'm more fluent with the offense, and I just feel like I'm at the top of my game.
Cato Nelson, Bubba Arselanian, appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck to the Zips in 2021. Thanks very much.
Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're step aside, take a quick time out. Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan continues on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
MAC Football Media Day continues from Ford Field with the head coach of the Miami Redhawks, Chuck Martin. Chuck, appreciate the time as always. The Redhawks over the last 4 or 5 years have had the best record in the Mid-American Conference. How have you done it, and what do you want to continue to see from this program?
Yeah, basically, we made a decision 7 years ago. We got there. We're going to take our time. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it with high school kids. We're not going to try to take a bunch of transfers, and we thought that fit who Miami was as an academic institution and as a university, and we built it slowly, and really the back half of year 3 we got it going, and we found kids that believe in the same thing we do, and everybody talks about culture and getting the culture set right, and I always say you recruit to your culture, because if you don't recruit kids that believe in what you believe in, your culture, you can't force them to act the way you want them. So we're fortunate. We got great staff, we got great kids, they're great student athletes. I've got every major known to man, engineer majors, I've got farmers business school majors, I've got pre-med majors, so we have really good kids, and we talked about day one being smart and tough, and as we've grown it through the years, we've been smarter and tougher, and that's what we're going to try to keep doing. We're not going to try to change who we are, but we just want to keep getting to be a little better version of who we've been, and keep building it that way.
Last year was crazy. I think you had 2-1,
yeah.
And a lot of them were opposing teams'
Yes.
COVID issues. But were you able to get something out of last year? I mean, you had the practices.
No, again, I was like, this is a waste. It was frustrating, no doubt, but it wasn't a waste. Like, for instance, Jack Sorensen sets a school record against Akron with 4 touchdown catches in one game. And that's like those moments, especially last year, we needed as many of those moments as we could latch on. So the practice, like you alluded to, we got tons of good practice in, tons of opportunities for kids to get there. We did get 3 games in. We had a knockdown, drag-out win against Ball State, which was awesome. We got our butts kicked by Buffalo, which wasn't awesome. We played a really nice game against Akron, but all those experiences for the kids, we were all looking for those last year, but these kids in particular, just, again, 3 was better than none, you know what I mean? And I certainly would love to get 6. We certainly would have loved to have a little better opportunity to defend our MAC crown, but it wasn't in the cards for 19, but we probably cherish those 3 moments more than we've ever cherished 3 football games in our life, really.
You mentioned that. Does that kind of motivate you that you didn't get to defend your MAC? Is that something you're going to kind of use to
our
talk
kids,
to?
I think everybody's, even the teams that got 6 or 7 games in, I think everybody's pretty motivated this year just to go play football the best of ability. Not that we shouldn't be that way anyways, but I just think this year in particular, everybody's appreciation's at a higher level.
What are going to be strengths of the Redhawks in 2021, do you think?
Yeah.
I know you never know until you get into camp, but when you look at it.
If you look at our 19 team, we were a very balanced football team. We really complemented each other on offense, defense, and special teams. We're going to be strong on defense. We got 6 starters back off the 19 team. We've got tons of players that have played above those 6 starters. So we've been strong on defense. We should be really strong on defense. Our kicking game won't be like 19, but I don't know that we'll ever have a kicking game that good again. But it was strong for 3 games a year ago. It'll be strong again this year. We think we think we have great depth. I don't know that we have more talent than any team in the league, but I think we have as much depth as anyone, and probably more depth than a lot of teams. We can go deeper. And then offensively, we got 8 starters back off the team in 19. Now, we were really young in 19. Freshman quarterback, 2 true freshman guards, a freshman slot. So we really feel like there's tons of growth off that 19 offense that we were going to see last year. We saw glimpses of it in a short time, but we really feel like our offense can take some major strides forward this year.
Do you sense the team kind of has a confidence that, we know how to win? You've kind of built that, and as I alluded to, over a 4-year stretch, you have the most wins in the MAC.
Yep.
Do you get a sense that this group knows what it takes to win?
Yeah, and they have won. Because early when we were there, when we got to the point we were good enough to win, it was still hard to convince them. And as you alluded to, the confidence is so. Yeah, we've not only won, we've won tight games, we've won big games. You've won, we beat OU on the road 19. You win the MAC championship game against a great Central Michigan team. Last year we beat Ball State, and we were down 2 scores in the third quarter and come back and beat Ball State, which turns out to be a pretty dang good win because that was the only game they lost all year. And they got a great football team. So, our kids have confidence, but they also have good awareness of our league. They have confidence, but they also understand that it's never going to be easy in our league. Like there's going to be close games every week, and that's just the norm. And if you're not used to that, it's hard to get adjusted and understand that every week it's a knockdown drag out.
Chuck Martin, head coach of the Miami Redhawks. Best of luck in 2021. Appreciate the time.
Thanks.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of Miami Redhawk players. It's Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field, live on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
MAC Media Day here at the footballs. We get ready to kick off football season for the Mid-American Conference, and we're pleased to be joined by a couple of Red Hawk players. Jack Sorensen, wide receiver, Mike Brown, defensive back. Guys, I know you're both seniors. You both decided to come back for another year. What went into the decision to come back and play another year with Miami Redhawks?
Yeah, I think for me, there's a lot more that I want to show as a football player. There's a lot more I want to do with the team. I want to win another MAC championship. So I think that there's just a lot left at Miami that I wanted to do, and getting the extra opportunity to do it, I definitely wanted to take that.
Mike, same question for you.
Along with what Jack said, just the opportunity to have a full season, be able to compete with my people I call family. So just looking forward to that opportunity.
How excited are you guys to have fans, band, cheer, everything that you associate with the atmosphere of college football back?
Yeah, I think it's just it creates to the atmosphere and the excitement of each game. I think that it was pretty eerie playing last year when you could hear yourself talking, and I could hear the defense and all the calls that they were given. I could hear my teammates and their breathing. It was just eerie. So I think it's cool that the environment's going to be back and the atmosphere is going to be like it was before.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Mike, let me ask you this. This defense, what is the Redhawks defense going to look like in 2021, do you think?
I think we have opportunity to be really good. We have a lot of players back from last year, with the COVID thing going on. So I think we have opportunity to be really good if we play like we should,
Jack, I'll ask you the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback Brett Gabbert back. Tell me a little bit. How excited are you, and what can this offense be?
Yeah, I think we're really excited. We have a lot of guys returning in the skill position. We got a lot of our running backs coming back from injury that are going to be playing this season. We have a young O-line, but we have 2 guys on there that have played a lot of games. So I think we have a really dynamic offense, and we're going to do some cool stuff this year.
What's the goal? I mean, you alluded to it, but tell me, the goal for Miami in 2021. I want to hear it.
You can answer that
MAC championship, that's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
You guys have been part of building this program to where it is, which is most wins in like a 4 or 5 year period. How much pride do you take in that, and how tough of a journey was it?
Yeah, I think when you look back on it, the full picture, I think when we're done at Miami, it's definitely going to be something that we cherish. It's going to be an awesome memory. But when we're in it, you're not really thinking about the wins, the standings, what other people think of you, or anything like that. That you can't let that feed into your motivation. You have to have a bigger, more intrinsic motivation for it. So it's a cool thing, but it's going to be something that we look back on and think is cool in 20, 30 years.
So, Mike, let me ask you this. You start with Cincinnati, and then you play Minnesota. Those two pretty good football teams. How do you view that? I mean, what do you look at those games and think?
I mean, there's no better way to start the season than those two games. I think we have a chance to start the season off right. Two big games on the road, and then you can't ask for anything better than that.
Jack, you had you didn't play a lot of games, but boy, you got a lot in those games. Tell me about the season that you had and what you want to do to build on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think behind every player's success, there's a really good scheme. There's great coaches. There's other teammates that obviously have to do their jobs to put you in the position to succeed. So we had an awesome game plan going into those 3 games. We had our backup quarterback step up and play really well. We had offensive linemen step up and play really well. We had other receivers do what they needed to do to draw defenders in other areas to open myself up. So it's exciting. I think you got a glimpse of what we can do offensively last year. And once we gain momentum and get a couple games under our belt, I think we're going to show everybody what we can really do. So I'm excited for that.
Jack Sorensen, Mike Brown, appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck in 2021. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. On the other side of the break, more from MAC Football Media Day at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, here on cleveland.com and M Live. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Welcome back to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, side of Mid-American Conference Football Media Day. We turn our attention to Eastern Michigan. Chris Creighton, head coach of the Eagles, joins us. And Chris, last year you called plays and the offense took off. Do you intend to continue doing that? And how happy were you with the results on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, we do it by committee. I've hired a bunch of guys that are a lot smarter than I am, and we do it together. And then obviously it's the guys on the field who just really understand it now. So we feel good about how it worked last year. We're going to continue to try to get better at that.
You kind of adapted a blue-collar mentality when you took over the factory you got, which I love. How happy are you that the guys have embraced that identity?
No, it's a really good. I'll tell you though, it was not me bringing that. It was me and all of us just understanding after we'd been there for a couple months who Eastern Michigan is and was. And so it really was just putting semantics to the reality. It is a blue collar, hard working, really good people, blue collar mentality, and so the factory made sense, the parking lot, the gray field, all of it just really made sense. And so I don't know, it wasn't me bringing anything, it was just kind of putting some words to something that already existed.
But there is a talent there, and it is an identity. Tell me what you want this team to look like on the field when you're going well.
Yeah, it's really good. Just a bunch of guys that love football, love each other, and are deeply motivated to do something that most people said wasn't possible.
All right, now you've also kind of taken a be different mentality for this season. Tell me what goes into that and what that means.
It's a great question. So at the end of last season, when we found out that everybody was going to be able to come back, made sense that folks are going to say, well, all the teams are going to be the same, just a year older. And we were definitely determined not to be the same, but that we were going to be different than we were this last year. And so that's the crux of our theme, is that for each of us as individuals and then for us as a program to be different than we were.
When you look at strengths, what do you think the strengths of this year's group will be? I know you haven't gotten into camp yet, but you got a pretty good idea of what things should be.
Yeah, I really believe that our leadership, our culture, our strengths right now. Excited to say that. I would also tell you that our specialists are as good at anybody as what they do. And with Jake Julian and Chad Ryland, and then Stephen Bird. I think that they're exceptional, and I think we're going to follow their lead.
When you look at, if I was going to give you the ability to say, boy, if this area improves and grows a little bit, we could be a really, really good football team. What area do you think that would be?
Well, we definitely need to run the ball better on offense, and we need to stop the run better. You know, I think it's really that. It's simple to say, very difficult to do, but if we can be stingy versus the run, and if we can, average a little bit more yards per carry and be able to be equally proficient in the passing game and the run game, I think we'll be, tough to handle.
There should be a number of guys that get the opportunity to carry the ball. Is that by design? Do you like that? And how can that be a strength?
So we'll even throw in our quarterback, right, on top of, the group of running backs that we have. It's a long season. It's a brutal position. And so I think we and our guys just all know that you may have a clear-cut starter and whatnot, but you better have a group of guys who can do it. And I think our guys have embraced that, and all of them, want to be in there, but all of them understand that it's going to take a village. And so that's kind of where we're at with it.
Chris Creighton, head coach of Eastern Michigan, appreciate the time. Best of luck in 2021.
Thanks so much.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Eastern Michigan players. We're at Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Mid-American Conference Football Media Day on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
MAC Football Media Day continues with the Eastern Michigan Eagle players, Teran Rush and Thomas Odukoye, tight end and a defensive lineman. Guys, both seniors came back for another year. Tell me what went into the decision and how anxious you are to get back on the field with fans, band, and all that goes into college football.
Last year obviously didn't go as we wanted, especially as a senior class. So, we talked about it, we got together, and we said this is just not the legacy we want to leave for ourselves. So getting the opportunity from the NCAA to be able to come back and play another year was big for us. We all decided we're going to go in and go out with a bang, so here we are.
Yeah, definitely. It's a blessing to be able to come back and play another year. We all competitors. We love football, so when they said that, it was very exciting to have another year in this great program at Eastern Michigan.
How excited are you to have fans back, cheerleaders, everything that goes, band, everything that goes into the atmosphere?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was weird playing in a ghost stadium sometimes last year, but just having the atmosphere back, being able to be back with all the fans and all the supporters is going to be great.
I think that's a very important role in football, having the fans screaming on third down, having the band playing. That sparks energy for me, and I play off energy and effort. And when you can hear that band, don't, like it just brings chills through my body and it electrified me and it helped me play hard.
Now, Teran, guys want to be a blue collar type team. You are a blue collar type team. What type of defense do you want to see? Do you want to be a part of? What do you want to see from that unit that you're a part of?
Just relentless, radical. We got guys that can make plays, but our focus is playing as a team, playing as a unit. That's number one. Once we play as a unit and get comfortable, the plays gonna come. So we all gonna help each other make plays, and that's our focus.
Thomas, coach wants to run the football. You're a tight end. Tell me willingness to block and how much you like that. I also know you had 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, so you're a big target as well.
Yes, sir. Running the football is how you start an offense, obviously. So being able to block, being willing to block, being able to put my body on the line for my teammates, for my running backs, for my quarterbacks, my receivers, that's big for me, and I take pride in that, obviously. Being that physical presence on the field at times, I love that role and I embrace that.
Now you are a big target, so if I'm a quarterback, I'm looking for you.
Oh yeah, I mean I hope so. Last year I got a couple catches in, a couple targets. Hopefully this year I'll get some more. You know, gotta maybe sweet talk my quarterback a little bit more, but we're working for that.
Coach challenged everybody to be different. Tell me what you take away from that and how important that is.
Very important. It's not, you can't just make a decision and flip a switch and be like, okay, I'm not going to be the same player and we're not going to be the same team we were last year. We started in January when we set this team up with making small changes in everyday life. Everybody made their one goal of what they wanted to accomplish at the end of the winter. We did the same thing for spring ball. Now we're in the same phase for the summer. What are you going to do every day that you can implement in your daily life to be different, to be a better player, to be a better team? We have seen a lot of improvements in myself and in the offense and the whole team. So I'm very excited to show the world that this upcoming fall.
Teran, how excited are you and how good do you think this group can be?
This group can be amazing. Like I said, we got playmakers, we got culture. Like in the mindset of being different, we always on a steady movement like this. You know, like even though we got the same guys and everybody in America almost got the same guys coming back, our role is to being different is getting better in our role. And that means 1% every day. Our mindset is to go 1-0. When we make mistakes, we flush it. When we do good, we got the 24-hour rule and we flush it. So we always getting better going like this. And our breakthrough coming. So we gonna keep getting better every day and control what we control.
Thomas Odukoya, Teran Rush, great job. Best of luck in 2021 to the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for having us.
All right, we will continue with Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field here in Detroit, Michigan on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Welcome back to Mid-American Conference Football Media Day at Ford Field. We turn our attention to the Northern Illinois Huskies, and we're pleased to be joined by Thomas Hammock, the head coach of the Huskies. Thomas, let's talk a little bit about what you guys have coming back.
Yeah, you know, I think last year we was obviously a young team. Really like the way our team has matured, has gotten stronger, has gotten bigger, and you know, we were really having a good offseason, and we needed it. You know, last year we played 10, 11 guys that came straight from high school. And now they understand the investment, they understand the commitment that it takes to play at a high level, and we're certainly excited to get ready for training camp.
So, Coach, third year at Northern Illinois, it seems like, we were talking before the start, it seems like you just started. Have you been able to get the building blocks that you would like, given last year was kind of a crazy year?
Yeah, you know, I think the thing that's important for our program is, you know, when my first year on the job, we made a decision to really commit to, you know, recruiting high school student athletes. And I think that's really paid dividends for us, building a program, making sure the foundation is strong, which it is. And we got some very, you know, good, you know, upperclassmen, that's some leaders, that's teaching the younger guys, and the foundation is extremely strong.
Tell us about the mindset. I know there's a mindset that you wanted to instill when you got back to Northern Illinois.
You know, I think for us the mindset was and is, you know, we want to be tough. We want to be physical. We want to be extremely strong up front and down the middle. And so our emphasis has been on the offensive and defensive lines. We've added some quality skill players, and you know, that's what we feel like we're going to make the biggest jump. You know, from year one, from the second year to the third year.
Now, when the teams play a Thomas Hammond team, what do you want them to get off the field saying?
You know, that's a physical outfit. You know, we want to run the football. Everything that we do is being built around that. We signed some extra backs this year because we want to be physical during training camp. I mean, we don't want to, you know, only have 2 or 3 guys and then you got to take care of them during camp. We want to get after it. And that's a mindset, that's a mentality. I think our offensive linemen feel that. The backs are going to understand that, and you know, we feel like, you know, when you go back and watch the film on Sunday, we want you to feel it after the game.
Now, you were running back coach in the NFL for a long time. What do you tell your linemen?
Well, I think, number one, it starts with maturity. I think last year our average lineman, they average age was 19 years old. Well, in college football, you want to be, older and more mature up front. But we got an excellent group. We got 19 offensive linemen. We got, 5 guys that started every game last season. And, excited about their growth and development. And I think they bonded. They have an understanding. Braden Patton is an excellent leader, and those young guys are following them.
If I was going to tell you if this goes well for the Huskies this year, we're gonna have a pretty good year, what would you say it would be?
As far as
group, just a group. If this group kind of comes together and gets it done.
Yeah, I think for us, as I look at our football team, it's going to start on offense. Number one, we have to protect the ball. We have to run the ball, and we have to be a physical unit and not put our defense in bad spots. I feel like our defense is going to make contributions. We're good on special teams, but for us, it's going to be offensively, and it starts at the quarterback position. We got some quarterbacks that we feel really good about, Rocky Lombardi being one of them, Ethan Hampton being another guy that came early. We have an excellent backfield. Our line is intact. We have a tight end that we feel like can be an exceptional player. But for us, it's going to start with our offensive production.
Now, non-conference, I was looking at this, Georgia Tech, Wyoming, Michigan. You got 3 pretty good programs that have 3 very different styles. Is that by design? You're gonna figure out a lot before you get into Mid-American Conference play.
What a great opportunity for our team. Georgia Tech is a very storied program. Obviously, they're building their program back up, and they're doing a nice job down there. And Wyoming is a tough football team, and then Michigan. But for us, with our team, it's a good litmus test for us. We get a chance to go down to Atlanta September 4th and play at night. I think our kids will be excited. They missed that opportunity last year, no non-conference. And I think that gives you a gauge. So when you get into the conference schedule, depending on how you played against some of those teams, you figure, you should have a pretty good barometer of where you are as a football team.
Thomas Hammond, head coach of the Northern Illinois Huskies. Appreciate the time. Best of luck in 2021.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of Husky players. It's the Mid-American Conference Football Media Days from Ford Field on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Welcome back to Mac Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, and we talked about the running game for the Northern Illinois Huskies and how important that was going to be. A couple of guys that are going to be important to that is Clint Radovic and also offensive lineman Braden Patton. Braden, let me start with you. You guys are both seniors that came back for an additional year. Why'd you come back? What made you want to come back and play some more college football?
Yeah, so the reason I came back is because I love the program. I love NIU. The way last season ended, it's not how we roll around at NIU. We know we have more work to do. Also, trying to make it to the next level. That is a big goal of mine, and I wanted to come back, try to help myself with that, and help the team win more games and win a MAC championship.
So Clint Ratkovich, you sat out a year.
Correct.
What made you want to play another year of college football?
I just love it. I couldn't get enough of it, and like I said, 2019 was my last season, and just sitting out that year due to COVID, I just had to come back for another year, and like Braden said, have aspirations of playing at the next level.
So let me ask you this, and we'll start with you, Clint. You want to run the football. Coach has made that clear. You want to be a tough, physical, aggressive team. What's that do for you as an H-back and fullback and a guy that's going to get the ball and be involved in some physical play at the line of scrimmage?
My eyes open up pretty big, that's for sure. I love physical downhill football. That's part of the game. It's what Coach Hammock wants to do, and for a guy like me who, has to be physical in between the tackle box. It opens my eyes, and I'm very excited.
So Braden, offensive lineman, you've seen a lot in multiple years playing on the O-line. When your coach says we want to run the football, what does that do for the 5 guys that are banging people up front every play?
Oh yeah, it excites you. It excites you a lot. That's what we want to do. As a lineman, pass blocking is fun sometimes, but you want to run the ball, and that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to pound. We get after people every play. We're hitting someone every single play. So when the coach tells you we want to run the ball, it puts all the weight on your shoulders, and I love it. So
I'll ask both of you this. Coach Hammond was an NFL running back coach. As a guy that wants to play NFL next on the offensive line, how big of an advantage is it that, Coach knows what it takes to be at that level, and how much do you try to pick his brain about that?
Yeah, it's huge. Coach Hammock, I love Coach Hammock. He's a personal guy. You can talk to him about anything. His door is always open. So having his knowledge and being able to talk to him about certain things, what NFL teams are looking for, and just different things, what I'm maybe doing wrong here or there, or try to coach me up on different things that he sees, it's huge. So.
Clint, same question. You obviously play a position group that he's coached some too.
Yeah, like you said, just picking his brain a little bit. He definitely knows a lot, being through the NFL and a bunch of teams before. Just trying to get his knowledge, and he holds you to that high standard. He holds everyone to the highest standard, and kind of knows what it takes to get to that level, and you just got to know what it takes. Yeah.
So, guys, how excited are you to play in front of fans, cheerleaders, band? That was something that was missing last year.
Yeah, the fans and the crowd, it brings excitement to the games. Without the fans, without the band, without all the crowd noise, it was different. And there's nothing like a college football atmosphere. So we're really excited for fans to be back.
Let me ask you this. Notre Dame, Wyoming, Georgia Tech. How excited are you guys about that non-conference, and how do you view it?
Michigan, not Notre Dame.
Michigan, I'm sorry. Yeah.
But it's going to be a great challenge. It's going to challenge us early on, see what we're made of, see where we have to improve, see where we get better, and I think it's going to be awesome that it's our first 3 games to kind of open up the season and see where we're at.
Are you excited about the opportunity of going there and playing in those?
The opportunity of playing in those big games, it's something we take seriously. We call them boneyard victories when we win. So the opportunity to play in those games, get the exposure, play against those teams, it's exciting.
Braden Patton and Clint Rekovich, appreciate the time. Thanks very much. Best of luck in 2021 to the Northern Illinois Huskies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. It's Mid-American Conference Football Media Days from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mac Football Media Day continues from Ford Field, and we turn our attention to the Western Michigan Broncos. Head coach Tim Lester joins us. Tim, appreciate the time. 4-2 a season ago. Yep. Tell me how that kind of set you up for 2021, how last year's season did.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was just learning. We had a new quarterback, and that's a big deal. And so, just getting him comfortable as we went on through the year, and then 6 games wasn't a huge sample size, but it was enough to get comfortable and understand who we are and what our strengths and weaknesses are, and that should help us moving forward.
Now, you mentioned the quarterback, Caleb Ellaby. Great season. 18 touchdowns, 2 picks up there, and a young guy. So you got to feel pretty good. As a former quarterback, what do you appreciate most about the season he had?
I think the biggest thing is his decision making and his flexibility. When we come to the sideline and have a conversation about, hey, what did you see? What did you think just happened? And bringing ideas to the table. When you have a quarterback that has ideas, he's the one out there. And I'm a coach that'll listen. And so he says, hey, I think they're doing this. I think we have a good chance. And we just slowly gave him more power as the season went on, and we got more and more powerful as an offense because of it. So even this spring, we gave him more and more responsibility, and I love the development of a quarterback. It's my favorite part. It's what I do. I mean, I'm a head coach now, but I coach quarterbacks. It's what my passion is. And so watching him grow and giving him more pieces of the puzzle is just going to make us all better.
We talked about 6 games, 4-2, so pretty good record. You were in the mix there. When you look at the other side of the ball, the defense, what do you need to see to take the next step?
Yeah, I think we got to stay healthy. We had a couple injuries. All our injuries last year were on one side. Offensively, we were fairly healthy, and defensively, we were a little bit of a train wreck injury-wise. We had to play our Mike linebacker at DN one game just to kind of survive. But it was a COVID. I mean, a lot of people were dealing with some of that. But we got to get healthy. We added some key transfers on the defensive side to get depth. It's really hard to play defense nowadays. I mean, the rules are obviously slanted towards offense, and so we have to get healthy. We got to get our depth fixed, and we got to be aggressive. And I think our defense is all back. They're healthy. We added some pieces, and I'm really excited to watch that group play because we have some great players. We got a lot of experience, but I think even with a couple injuries, which are bound to happen, we still have enough pieces of the puzzle now to still stay competitive long.
Camp starts in a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the message to this year's team when you start that?
Well, we're very fortunate. We don't forget the things that happened. I mean, we were 3 points away from going to the championship 2 years ago. We were 3 points away from going to it last year. And so I have a very talented team that's got a huge chip on their shoulder, and they're angry. And it doesn't happen too often where you have this scenario, but they're hungry, and I might have to pull them back more than kick them because they want to go. We're not going to play in the MAC championship game in August. We got to make sure we're ready because we have a great season and a great, very difficult preseason, and we start off against some really good teams. The first 4 games in the MAC are going to be, physical games. So it's exciting. I'm just kind of managing. We have the best leadership, team leadership, player leadership that we've had since I've been here. And that makes my job a lot of fun, and we're excited. We just want to get to work and get back out there because that taste in the mouth from the last 2 years is still there, and it should be. And we have to grow, and we've continued to have a great off season. We're ready to get back out there.
Does the fact that you do have that veteran of a group, does it allow you to coach a little differently, do you think, and maybe go a couple levels deeper in what you do?
100%. I mean, when you're coaching, I go to like the NFL, if you're coaching Burrows or you're coaching Brady, you can do different things, and so it should allow us in training camp to maybe work on some more unique situations, that are going to happen, that are going to make a difference in the fourth quarter, as opposed to working on our base offense as much as we normally would. So you have to know your team to know how to coach them, and so this is a veteran team with a veteran quarterback. And so it's going to be exciting for us in training camp.
Tim Leffler, head coach of the Western Michigan Broncos. Best of luck in 2021. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We will take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Bronco players. It's Mac Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
MAC Football Media Day continues with the Western Michigan players. We are pleased to be joined by quarterback Caleb Ellaby, as long as center this year, Mike Caliendo. Guys, we talked to Coach, and he mentioned 3 points away from the MAC championship game each of the last 2 years. What does that do for you guys as players?
It adds fuel to the fire. We've tried to improve every year, and we haven't fell short of our goal. It's time to reach new heights. Simple as that.
Yeah, for those 3 points are a culmination of a lot of little details that we weren't taking seriously enough. So this offseason, we've been locking in on those details, continued every single day
the small thing. There's no such thing as a small detail. So
Absolutely.
everything that we do, no matter what it is, during workouts, in the classroom, out in the community, it all matters, and we now starting to understand that. I think our whole team is now starting to understand that, and I think that's going to be the difference this year.
So Mike, you shift inside to center. A little bit more responsibility. Tell me how excited you are to make that switch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited. I feel like that my knowledge of the game that I've gained within the past 4 years starting at left guard is going to benefit me a lot and benefit our O-line a lot. Not only knowing what's happening inside the box with the front seven, but also being able to see the safeties, corners, understanding all of that. And I feel like I've gained that knowledge now at this point where I can utilize that every single game, every single snap. And I think it'll benefit us a lot.
So Caleb, I'm going to say this again. Almost 1,800 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, just 2 picks as a redshirt freshman starter a season ago. Great season. How do you take it to another? What do you want to do to take it to another level?
Kind of like we mentioned earlier, as Mikey mentioned earlier, being intentional. Being intentional with everything that we're doing, focusing on details, specific details. The biggest thing that I'm focusing on this year is execution. Executing at a high level and being able to do so consistently. And, with the team coming together, all being on the same accord on one page, things are going to be good this year.
Now, your head coach, Tim Leffler, was a quarterback and a pretty good one.
Right.
And he says he loves developing quarterbacks. Tell me how much you enjoy playing for him, what the benefits are, playing for a guy that wants to develop quarterbacks.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely a great opportunity. Being able to work side by side with my head coach who understands the game, being able to talk quarterback language, so to call it. He's definitely made me better. Talked about being in phase, out of phase, really just kind of taking a deeper level of understanding, thinking about the game at a high level.
Let's talk a little bit about the line. In order to have Caleb do what he does, you guys have to give him time, have to give him holes, have to give him space. What's your guys' mindset as an offensive line?
Yeah, we absolutely have to give him time on every single play. And I feel like our unit, we're really tight.
Absolutely.
So I think we're able to solve any really problem that we see with the defense, whether it's twisting defensive linemen, blitzing linebackers. The relationship we built with each other, we hang out all the time. So I think our relationship will help us a lot.
I think the key is relationship and communication. Communication being on the same accord. I know I mentioned that earlier, but that's really very important in this game of football in order to be successful and to execute at a high level.
What are your guys' goals? Goals and how good do you expect the Broncos to be this year?
MAC championship.
Yeah, I want to be here. Field. I want to be here December 4th. But really, on a more smaller note, we just want to improve every day. Go 1-0 every day. Not each week, but every day. Win the day. Give 110 a day. Do it again tomorrow. And so on and so forth. By that time, hopefully, the work will be on itself.
Before I let you go, let me ask you, you open against Michigan. Mm-hmm. How do you guys view that? I mean, is that an opportunity there?
We look at it as an opportunity for sure. We're going out there playing our game, trying to execute, start our season off the correct way.
It's definitely an opportunity, but can't allow that to be a distraction. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people there. We have to understand that before we get there and make sure we've got some guys that haven't played in big games like that. Last year was really just in conference games. With some guys haven't played in big stadiums like that, so we'll just have to. Hopefully, the leaders on the team that have played in games like that will be able to communicate with those young guys that it's just another game. We're still playing football. 100 yards by 52, so it's the same thing.
Mike Caliendo, Caleb Ellaby, great job. Appreciate it. Good luck 2021.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. MAC Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan will continue on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Welcome back to Mid-American Conference Football Media Day, and we turn our attention to the Ohio Bobcats. We're joined by Tim Albin, who is the new head coach of the Bobcats. Frank Solich stepped away for health reasons. Will still be involved. Long-time offensive coordinator for Coach Solich. Tim, what's the last week been like? It has to be kind of crazy as you move into the head coach's role.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been bittersweet. The news was, tough. I thought, hey, coach, at some point in time, he always say, I'm not going to coach forever. I decided to be, on the 50-yard line here in Detroit holding the trophy up, and whether it's 1 year or 2 years or whatever. But, with the coach's announcement and then a couple of days following that with Miss Cromer and the search and her and I getting a chance to visit, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been a lot of fun. It's really, the transition has been about as smooth as it can be. I've got 120 guys got my back, and so it's very, very comforting to know. But Brooke and I are very, very excited for sure.
Yeah, when you look at this year's team, what do you expect to see? And I imagine it's going to be a lot like the Bobcats have been the last several years.
Well, that's certainly going to be the goal for sure. Hey, we're going to continue to build off the foundation that Coach Solich has got in place, with being transparent and our core values and decisions with integrity. Those things will not be compromised. I'm going to look to build on those things. And there's going to be a few tweaks here and there. There has to be, right? I mean, that's why I'm the coach. And we'll see how things go through fall camp and utilizing personnel and those types of things. But I'm excited about, as Coach always says, taking this program to the next level. And we have the staff. Ms. Cromer's a vision for Ohio football, Ohio athletics. I could not be more excited about the leadership from President Sherman. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait till Syracuse comes to town at 7 p.m. And that home opener for sure.
When you look at this year's team, what do you think some of the strengths will be, and then also some of the things that if we grow quicker in this area,
right,
we're going to be that much farther ahead.
Spring practice number one. That's where it started. And there was an energy in itself right there from coming through the pandemic. You could see the light at the end of the tunnel. There was an enormous amount of energy about being together, seeing each other's faces, and starting practice. As we move through the next 15 practices at the end, this coaching staff knew, hey, this football team is about the process and not just an outcome. Okay. And then you bring in Coach Jake Miller. Got to give him a big shout out. He's got the staff and with his leadership, with continuing this roster and the things he's getting done. Our guys are they're asking why, not why we have to do this. They're asking questions like, why do we like this pressure into this protection? Why do we like this run scheme, coach, into this pressure? They're asking those types of questions. Okay, all right, and so they're asking things like. They're being coachable. What I mean by that is they're just not saying yes sir and no sir. That's called manners. They're taking instruction from this staff and doing the very best of their ability to follow in great detail. They're at the whole team is at the facility early. All right, they are attitude and effort. My voicemail, it's not going to change. It's been the same for 15 or 16 years, but. Bobcat football, our blood type is B positive. I mean, their attitude, they're coming to work with hey, positive attitude. And then the last one, which I think is huge, Coach Miller they have our football team, hey, you be the CEO of you, right? Okay, so what are you doing away from the football facility? Nutrition, hydrating, sleeping, what are you doing, what are you putting inside your body? You're making the right decisions. And you take that and it's got a great energy, and so I am very excited about getting started and looking forward to building. And we got to finish off these last 8 or 9 days of this summer, and then we're going to get a few days off, but it's go time, baby.
Tim Albin, new head coach of the Ohio Bobcats. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.
I greatly appreciate it. I'm honored.
All right, so we're step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll talk to a couple of Bobcat players as Mid-American Conference Football Day continues here on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Welcome back to Ford Field, to Detroit, Michigan, as we continue MAC Football Media Day with the Ohio Bobcat players. Demontre Tuggle, running back, and a defensive lineman, Kai Caesar. Guys, appreciate it. Demontre, let's start with you. This has been a program that's been able to run the football. How excited are you to get back after it? A new head coach, as Coach Solitz stepped down, but you know Coach Alvin, he's been around and has been the offensive coordinator for as long as Coach Solitz has been here.
I'm so excited. You know, we only had the chance to play 3 football games last year, and you know, like this team's hungry. You know, we got some good new you know assets in the line, and you know, I'm just so excited to get back to work and get back to, you know, trying to get back to here in Detroit. So, you know, I can't wait. You know, as far as Coach Alvin being a new head coach, you know, we're excited for him. He was my running back coach, and you know, I feel like it's not much that's changing for me.
Kai, Coach said he was really impressed with this team and kind of their mentality. You know, they want to be coached, they want to get better, they want to know the reasons why, so they can go deeper into the schemes. Tell me a little bit about that on the defensive side of the ball. That's kind of what Coach had said. He was really impressed with the way the defense wants to know why they're doing things so they can be even better.
Right. As a defensive player, especially in the front line, I mean, it's our job to take care of the front, you know, and have those guys in the backfield make a lot of plays, especially in the passing game. For us, I think, you know, just trying to figure out who we are individually, just to bring to the field and you know, bring the communication and bring the athleticism and just bring who we are so we can get over that hump defensively.
Kai, how good can this team be? How good can the Bobcats be this year?
This team will be the best team on that field. It will be very great. I believe in this team 100%.
So Demontre, tell me a little bit kind of the mindset. This football team likes to be physical. How much do you like that as a back behind a line that wants to be physical and kind of move people?
Oh, it's a dream, you know. It helps me out a lot because sometimes I'll run through the line untouched. So, you know, those guys like to get dirty, and you know, I try to do my best to make sure, you know, and know that they loved and they're, you know, they're appreciated by me for sure, and the whole running back room. But you know, we really pride ourselves on physicality and, you know, being a hard-nosed team. So, you know, we really try to implement that every game.
You guys were 2-1 a season ago. Did you see kind of the growth from the year before? Even though I know it was kind of a crazy COVID year and it was shortened, but did you see kind of the growth that you want to see?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, we had a new quarterback, or new quarterbacks, obviously. So, you know, we got a chance to get those guys some game experience, and we got to see those guys really grow and take the next step. You know, Armani's coming in, learning in the offense, and then Curtis, you know, played behind his brother for a year, and you know, had to get his feet wet a little bit. So, you know, just for those guys, just to get those guys out there and then some game experience, and you know, was really great for us. And I feel like they're going to take some huge steps this next year.
Kai, if this defense is playing the way you as a group want to play, what are we seeing on the field? What type of defense do the Ohio Bobcats want to be?
We want to be a team that, you know, make a lot of plays in the backfield, and like I said, a lot of plays in the passing game as well. I mean, we all have to come together, you know, as a front, as a middle, and the guys in the backfield to become that team we would love to become. Like I said, I think we have it, and I think mentally we've been working, especially this offseason, on how to get over that hump like we talked about earlier.
Camp will start in a week, 2 weeks, something like that. How anxious are you to get going with camp that leads into the season, and what do you need to see from each other as a group as you do that?
Well, I feel like one thing about this team, I feel like one thing is we fell in love with the process. So every day we come in ready to work, And I feel like this team is just excited for camp as we will be for the first game. Like, we're just ready for the opportunity to get ready to work and get better. So, you know, the excitement is very high.
I agree, for sure. I mean, we've been working very, very hard in the weight room, on the field, conditioning-wise. I mean, it's time to really show what we've been doing. And like I said, I see a very high future for this team.
Kai Caesar, Demontre Tuggle, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Bobcats in 2021. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we will continue from Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field here on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with a side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
MAC Football Media Day continues. We turn our attention to the Buffalo Bulls' new head coach, Mo Linguist. And Mo, it's your new head coach here, but you were with the Bulls back in 2012, 2013.
Yep.
So you know the program, you know the environment. How anxious are you to be the head coach?
Just number one, thankful and honored and privileged to be back. Anytime you leave a place and they call you to come back, and in any type of aspect or role, you're thankful that you feel like you moved the needle enough and made things better and left it better than what you found it, for them to see enough in you to bring you back as the head coach. Certainly no stranger to the MAC and all the pride and tradition of this conference. And you got coaches like Coach Solich out there that we want to wish him well in retirement and all he's done for this conference, and some of the great players and great coaches. Guys like Khalil Mack that already played at Buffalo, Stephen Means, and some of the great players that we've had here at Buffalo. So you got great perspective, and you're thankful to be back, and we're excited to get things started.
Back-to-back bowl wins for the Bulls, first two in program history. What do you see as strengths, and obviously you want to continue that trend. That's a good trend that was started by Coach Leipold.
Yeah, Coach Leipold did a great job. I mean, three straight bowl games, and 2 out of the last 3 years, MAC East Conference champions. We're looking to do something right now that's really never been done in the history of Division 1A football, in the sense of there's 115 days out from our first game from when I got hired. And I think 74 days have passed since. We've added 28 players to the roster since the month of June has begun. We looked at our locker room and the men that were in the locker room and attacking the relationships and really just letting guys get to know us as a new head coach and new coaching staff, and asking a lot of questions, getting their perspective and feedback on a lot of things. We have an older group of guys that have had a lot of success in this program, and I think it would have been a mistake for us not to ask the right questions and listen, and then also lay out the foundation and the vision for what we feel like needs to be said and done moving forward to get us from where we are to where ultimately we want to go. We want to come back here to Detroit, and we want to leave with a trophy ultimately, and we want to do it multiple times. So we know the task at hand that's in front of us. It's going to be very difficult, but we have a ton of great group of successful experience of older guys and some youthful guys that have come in with a lot of great energy, and we feel like we have the mix of the right stuff in terms of our attitude and our mindset of the locker room right now to continue to propel this program and move things forward the way we want to.
You were defensive back coach for the Cowboys a season ago. What do you want this team to be? And I'm sure you know what you want a Mo Linguist coach team to be.
Sure.
What is that?
I think there's so many elements involved in championship level football. Number one, we look at play style, not what we're playing, but how we play the game. Attacking every single day with a relentless mindset, a relentless attitude. Number two, we look at the ball. Turnover margin is such a big factor in just football in general. I think all the way from prep football to college, all the way to the NFL. I think in 2019, you look at the top 4 teams in turnover margin in the NFL, also had the top 4 regular season records. The bottom 4 teams in turnover margin had the 4 worst records in the NFL. So I think
the ball and the turnover margin aspect of the game is something we pay great attention to, and a great amount of details put into that. I think we also look at an average starting field position and how do you create, those hidden yardage situations, whether it's through special teams and tackling and making and creating explosive plays and breaking tackles on offense. And then we look at situational football over and over again, just being masters of the situation, 2-minute red zone, short yardage, coming out, backed up, all the things that go along with playing championship level football. And then there's intangibles involved. There's going to be weather, there's going to be travel situations, and there's going to be so many things involved in the game that you really have no control over. And the question is, are we going to let ourselves be distracted by those factors? And really, we feel like everything really goes back to how we play the game, the connection and the confidence of our men in the locker room, the trust and the respect that we have from player to player, from coach to player, player to coach, and so on and so forth. And then really attacking every single day with the right mindset and attitude and a relentless effort to best position ourselves to be our best when our best is needed every single week.
Mo Lindquist, first-year head coach of the Buffalo Bulls. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Good luck in 2021.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Bulls players. Mid-American Conference Football Media Day from Ford Field will continue here on M Live, as well as cleveland.com. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues with the Buffalo Bulls players, James Patterson, linebacker, and Jake Fusak, offensive lineman. Jake, tell me a little bit about the mindset of this offensive line. You've had a number of guys that run the football well. As a small guy, I know for certain the 5 guys up front are the reason that the running backs can do what they want to do.
Yeah. Jarrett did help a little bit. Him and Smoke, they were erasers. I could literally let go of the DN and know that we're at least going to get 2 or 3 yards. The mindset of offensive linemen is, we're the Dark Knights of the football team. We don't really care about recognition or how well we play. We just want to see Smoke or Jarrett, get as many yards as possible. We lost some players with the coaching change, and I think that I'm truly honored and fortunate to be a part of the O-line right now, and how the guys have stepped up and the work they're putting in. It's truly something special, and that'll be reflected in their play definitely this year too. So I'm excited for guys like Gabe Wallace and Betsy Polgar who've been chomping at the bit for years to play, or get a chance to go out there and give Smoke 2,000-yard rushing season.
James, Coach Mo has a lot of energy. How excited are you to play defense? He coached defensive backs for the Cowboys a season ago, was part of Buffalo 2012, 2013 when there was a guy named Khalil Mack kind of wreaking havoc in the league. How excited are you to be a part of this defense?
Oh, very excited. The energy he brings daily is unmatched. Running sprints with us, getting out there doing drills with us. It's crazy. You see your head coach doing things like that, you have more respect for him as a man and as a coach. I can't wait to play for him. He brings a different type of defense to Buffalo. And not just only him, the defensive coordinator Joe Kaufman, Coach C. Him as well. Both of them are like twins, I like to call it, because they got the same mindset when it comes to defense, and it's going to be a whole show on the turf.
So Jake, tell me a little bit just kind of the mindset. You guys have won back-to-back bowl games. Tell me kind of the approach that you guys have as a team to this season.
It's the standard doesn't change. So we want to win 14 games, and we're going to do that. And so as far as I've been really proud of us. We don't let things like what bowl game or whatever get to our heads. We just want to win. And so we've preached competition. We've preached a high standard and physical football, and I think that what I've seen this summer, there's no reason why we can't accomplish any goal that we set. And I think as far as mindset, we always want to say like a chip on our shoulder, and we could care less who we're playing, we're going to win. But I think as a team we've become, I would process oriented. We don't really care about there's no goal hey we're going to get to this week and we're going to play Ohio, we're going to beat them. It's hey, that rep wasn't that good. How can we make that better? We've taken big accomplishments or obviously trying to win a championship and shrunken it to a single rep basis. And I think that that's a sign of maturity, and it's a sign of a winning football team. And so that's what I would say.
James, this defense, what's it going to look like on the field, and how much fun is it to play in that style of defense?
It's going to look fast, physical, a lot of turnovers. That's one thing they're stressing about. When we get a tackle, don't just go for the man, go for the ball as well. And they teach us things daily about the ball. Just to get it on the ground, how we do certain drills like turnover drill, interception drill, pursuit drills, and really try to score touchdowns on defense.
Jake, the offense, what is that going to look like? What do you see as being strengths of this year's offensive group?
Sure, I think that we're athletic. I think we have a lot of opportunity for mismatches and I think what Jarrett gave us was that X factor. Was a back that again, it could break 3-4 tackles and still get 10-15 yards. But I think that what we have now is a backfield and outside players that make up for that. We have experience, we have leadership that we haven't had before, and I think you're going to see a lot of players. Where like before you saw Jared, he ran, or you saw Kyle lob up a ball to Trevor Tone, and they're just going to take off with it. Now you're going to see a very methodical, very mature, very disciplined offense. And with that still X factor playmaking ability. So I look forward to that this fall.
Jake Fuzek, James Patterson, appreciate the time, and best of luck in 2021 to the Buffalo Bulls. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. Mid-American Conference Media Day from Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan will continue on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Days continue from Ford Field. We turn our attention to the Ball State Cardinals, the defending MAC champions. Mike New, head football coach, joins us. Mike, you had back-to-back wins to end the season against ranked opponents, which put you into the top 25. Talk about how the season ended and where the program sits right now.
Well, it's a great accomplishment for our players and for our program to finish the year the way that we did. Obviously, we were the underdog, sometimes double-digit underdogs going into a couple of those games at the end in the MAC championship game and the bowl game. But our guys stepped up to the challenge, and the credit goes to them for just working hard. And they did a great job making social sacrifices in a very challenging year with COVID and everything that was in play that way. But so proud of the guys just committing to hard work and then the results paying off.
Now, you go from, you mentioned being underdogs, probably going to have a little bit of a target now because you are the MAC champs. You were a top 25 team. Is that a transition? Is that something you have to deal with? You've got a veteran team coming back.
Yeah, and that's, the great thing is we got a mature group of guys. It was great to have a year the way that we did, but when they went home at the end of it for 2.5 weeks to get away and they came back late January to start the off-season program. Everybody's attitude and everybody's mindset was in the right place. We got to go back to starting the process all over again. And just because we were good at something last year and we return a lot of the same guys doesn't guarantee we'll be good at it. Hard work gives you an opportunity to build your strengths for this team of 2021, and that's all we've been focused on, is just making sure that we're back to grinding during the winter, during the spring, during the summer. We're going to have a great finish here to the summer, get away, regroup, and then we'll be anxious to start training camp.
Have you been happy with the way the off-season has gone as you get ready?
I've been so proud of our team, the way they've attacked it. Our strength and conditioning staff is incredible. Ben Armour, our director of strength and conditioning, has such a meticulous calendar in place and things we're trying to accomplish during each phase. But the one thing I said way back in the beginning in January was nobody's going to be fat and happy here, and to every one of our players' credit, that's not taken place. Everybody's been so bought in to just working as hard as we possibly can.
6th season at Ball State. Did you see the roadmap and what's it like to be kind of, I don't want to say you're at where you want to be, but right, to see the growth?
Well, when I first came back to Ball State, certainly I was proud to come back, be in my alma mater, being the head coach of my alma mater was awesome. I knew there was going to be some challenges. I knew there was going to be some growing pains. I didn't quite know they'd be that, the growing pains would be that significant, but I look back and reflect on that, especially 2017, and I wouldn't trade what we went through for anything. And I'm just so proud of the players because, back in 2017, they could have easily put their name in the transfer portal, tried to pursue somewhere else, but they stuck together, kept working hard. They believed in each other, they loved each other, and to see it pay off and where we're at. But that's not the final chapter. I know my goal was to win a championship, but then once we did, to be able to sustain success. And I think about Coach Solich and what he did for the Ohio program. That's awesome. And that is a goal, to be able to have a program where you can sustain success the way that Frank Solich did.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that figure to be strengths. What do you think this team will look like, and what do you expect it to look like?
Yeah, obviously we returned 20 starters, 10 on offense, 10 on defense, but I want to start with the defense because I always feel like we don't quite get enough credit for the championship defense that we played, and really it starts with the leadership. Tyler Stockton, our defensive coordinator, has a championship swagger, and that swagger, it makes its way down to our players in a respectful and humble way, but our guys play great team defense. We had critical plays in every game last year where we had a critical turnover or a game-changing play that switched the momentum. So we're going to build on that. Brandon Martin was a co-defensive player of the year. He's here with us today. Bryce Cosby, Christian Albright, Jay Thomas, Jimmy Dahl. You could go right down that roster on defense, and we've had some big-time plays come up from all of those guys. So I'm excited about continuing to build on what we put out there on the field last year defensively, and then offensively, Drew Plitt, our MAC champion quarterback, is here with us, and Drew's worked so hard to develop in all phases of his game. He's worked as hard this offseason, just like all of our upper class guys have, to improve his game. But we got some great weapons on offense. Justin Hall, tremendous playmaker. Johannes Tyler, tremendous playmaker. Kind of got a running back by committee approach with Ty Evans, Will Jones, and Donnie Marcus. So we've got some good weapons. And one thing we try to pride ourselves on is there's not just one go-to guy. You want to make you defend the whole field. And at the end of the day, just play very good, complete, complementary football.
Mike New, head coach of the Ball State Cardinals, the 2020 MAC champions. Appreciate the time. Best of luck in 2021.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, Mike New, we're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of the Cardinals players. Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues here on cleveland.com and MLive. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
MAC Media Day on the football side of things continues. Brandon Martin, co-MAC Defensive Player of the Year as a linebacker a season ago. Quarterback Drew Plitt from the champion Ball State Cardinals. Guys, first question. You finished the season a year ago, top 25 in the country. How satisfying is that, and how do you approach things moving forward?
Well, it's definitely something that we're happy about. We still want to continue to get better, continue to grow. But, this continued dedication to the process of what got us there is going to get us even further. So,
yeah, it was a great celebration, a great opportunity for us to go out to the Arizona Bowl and win that game too. But we want to leave a legacy, so we're back to work. We've been back to work since day one of winter workouts, and we're excited to repeat this year.
Now, Drew, you were offensive MVP of the Arizona Bowl as well as the Mid-American Conference Championship game. What are you working on to take it? Everybody's trying to get better.
Yeah.
What are you working on to get even better?
Yeah, those awards are great, but I couldn't do it without the team around me. I go against one of the best defenses in the nation every day that helps me improve, and I have one of the best wide receiver cores in the nation as well with a great offensive line and great running backs. So I couldn't do that without them, and that award, that's for everybody. That's not just for me. That just proves how good we are as a team, and moving forward, just want to take on more responsibility in our offense, get involved more in the game plan, and in the play calling during a game.
Brandon, let's talk a little bit about this defense. You were co-defensive player of the year in the conference. What does this defense look like on the field when it is playing the way you and Coach New want it to?
Well, I think it's a group of guys that are hungry and they really want to play hard for each other. Our defensive coordinator, Coach Stockton, tells us all the time that what you put on film is going to show how much you care about the guy next to you. And without a doubt, our defense is bought into that from the front line all the way to the defensive backs. And that looks like guys running to the football because they care about the guy next to them. That looks like running off the field. That looks like extra focus in the film room, things like that. So that shows how much you care about the guy that's next to you.
Drew, you guys were the underdog for some of last year. You're probably going to be the favorite, top 25 team, defending champs. How do you deal with that? How do you switch those roles and make sure you don't fall back?
Yeah, we were underdogs for so long, and I think you look at our team as the experience that we have. We remember those games where we were getting beat by 30, 40 points, and we haven't forgotten that. There's some unfinished business still with some of those teams where the wins that we've had weren't big enough, weren't a representation of how we feel, and we're excited to get back on the field and kind of show what we're capable of doing and what it really feels like when we win.
Brandon, Drew mentioned legacy. Is that something kind of you think about because you did win a MAC championship? Is another one something that you want to make sure you kind of bring back to Muncie?
Well, as Drew said, we just don't feel like the job's finished. We still there's still so much for us to accomplish. There's still so much for us to do as a football team in this conference and nationally. We want to make sure that Ball State is a household name. And in order to do that, we have to continue to win games, win championships, and bowl games. So we're excited for that.
And when we talk about that, a lot of people talk about last year as a fluke, and we're going to prove this year it wasn't. We're going to go out there every game and show everybody what we're really about, and the experience and leadership on this team is going to make sure that happens.
Does last year give you confidence? I mean, you guys showed what you can do. Does that give you confidence that, hey,
absolutely. Finally being able to get over that hump of winning those close games and not losing them. That's a lot of confidence that we have, and I think we've really prided ourselves, a lot on those 2-minute drills and being able to win those close games where in years past we haven't. So it's been a great help, and a lot of that is just a testament to our leadership.
A lot of guys back. How important is that, and is there kind of a likeness in mindset from everybody?
Well, I think that when you talk about a group of guys that have been through a lot together and are focused towards a goal, that describes us perfectly. We're a group of guys that have been through a lot of guys coming back. So we're excited. We're excited for the opportunity to continue to play another season together and be forward back here in December.
Well, we appreciate it. Brandon Martin, Drew Plitt, best of luck to the Cardinals in 2021. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. Mid-American Conference Media Day on the football side of things continues from Ford Field on MLive and cleveland.com. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues, and we turn our attention to the Central Michigan Chippewas. Head coach Jim McElwain. Coach, appreciate the time. When you look at this year's team, what do you have coming back? What do you expect, and some strengths from this year's group?
I got to tell you, you know, most coaches, I guess we're not supposed to do this, right? I like our team. I think we're pretty good. Now, time will tell, right? But I truly think we have a really good football team. We've got a lot of really good pieces, a lot of really good parts. The key is going to be for us is now bringing all those into a whole, right? Making all the parts a whole. But, you know, I was kind of gunning towards this season a little bit with our recruiting. Kind of thinking like this was one to kind of earmark and circle. And yet, all of a sudden, every team gets everybody back, right? So, be like playing BYU every week, you know. So, but with that being said, it's one of those deals where our guys are going to have to step up a little higher because of all the guys that are returning from the other teams.
When you look at this group, have you been happy with what you've seen through the spring? I know we haven't started camp yet; that'll start in a little bit. But what do you think about the way this has gone leading up to camp?
So, you know, here's kind of our MO. You know, call it the way it is. You know, we kind of start off pretty good, and then we go through a lull. Then but we haven't learned how to finish yet. So, one of the things we need to do as a program is learn how to finish, and that's really been the biggest piece, I think. What I saw going through, I thought we had a consistently good spring practice, and yet, you know, we got look, there's things we got to clean up. But at the end of the day, you know, as I go back, I like our team. I think we have a good football team, and I really think we have a good football team, and I'll be excited to see them play this fall.
3-3 a year ago. Do you take a lot away from a year like that? You got to practice. You got to play 6 games.
Yeah.
Is that something that you look to build on?
Yeah, you know, and I think we learned a lot. You know, I really do. I think, you know, in our case, I probably made, you know, well, I'll call myself out. I gray-shirted our whole freshman class, not thinking that we were going to play, right? Well, all of a sudden we're playing, and next thing I know, we're playing with 55 guys, right? So we actually cross-trained guys last year. We practiced a lot like a high school. And yet what we did is we took the year to really kind of focus on ourselves and get ourselves a little bit better. Didn't like the results. And yet I also told our guys, you know what, we're playing. Because there was a time they took the game away from us. So let's go out and enjoy it.
What do you expect to be strengths of the 2021 Chippewas?
Well, you know, I think it all starts up front. You know, for anybody to be successful, you got to be good up front. And I really think we have some parts in that offensive line. We've got some guys back that were injured a year ago, didn't play, and you know, they're back to full strength. I'm excited to see those guys in the fold with some of the new guys that we have. So I would say, you know, from that position, I think defensively, you know, we're a little thin by numbers, but we've got some pretty darn good defensive linemen, and those guys are going to have to step up.
Tell me a little bit about Troy Hairston, co-MAC Defensive Player of the Year. What makes him special?
His motor, plain and simple. The guy just goes. He just goes and goes and goes, and he's a great leader on our football team, and a guy that has learned how to practice, and really practice at a high level, which there in turn elevates the people around him. So coming into this season, you know, people are going to know who he is now, right? So they're going to be sliding to him. They're going to be chipping him. So the importance is what happens on the other side, right? As those guys get one-on-ones and that type of thing. So I think it's really important for us, again, those parts have to come together.
A lot of times guys with that kind of motor kind of get everybody else going. Is that fair to say Troy is like that?
Troy's like that. Khalil Pimpleton, you know, who I'm just telling you, if you see his smile, it's infectious. I mean, I absolutely love this guy, the way he approaches it. And both these guys, the way they approach meetings, the way they approach practice, they enjoy playing the game, right? But more than that, they enjoy practicing the game. And that's a big deal too. So, having those guys as leaders, I think, is a really good thing for us.
Jim McElwain, head coach of the Central Michigan Chippewas. Appreciate it. Best of luck in 2021.
You bet. Appreciate it.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we'll hear from a couple of those Chippewa players. Mac Media Day from Ford Field continues right here on MLive as well as cleveland.com. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Mid-American Conference Football Media Day continues with the Central Michigan players, Khalil Pimpleton and Troy Hairston. Guys, appreciate the time. Troy, let's start with you. Co-Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. What keeps you motivated? What do you want to do this season? What do you want to see from yourself and your unit?
Well, first of all, obviously retaining that title 2 years in a row is a motivation for me. That's a goal of mine. Going higher in the places with All-American. I want to be two-time All-American again this year. And then as far as the team, I just want us to be able to put our pieces together that we have, the tools we have, and play together, and we'll be cool. We'll be straight.
So Khalil, wide receiver, also a punt returner,
Yes,
and highly thought of on both fronts.
Yes,
Tell me a little bit what you want to see from yourself.
Just me giving my all every play. Just me giving every training, every ounce of training that I have, that I put in, bringing out every play. That's pretty much all that is.
Guys, 3-3 in a COVID season a year ago. What about the expectations this year? Khalil, we'll start with you. What do you guys expect from yourselves?
We expect to win, and we expect to win every down, and we expect to play in the now. We don't expect to play in the last play. We don't expect to play the next play. We expect to play this play right here and win it. Execute our job.
Troy, this defense, when you are playing the way you want to play, what are we seeing on the field from Central Michigan's defense?
We seeing dudes play together, especially up front. We see dudes rushing together, playing together, stopping the run. Secondary and backers, we expect them to do their job, fit and fill, PBUs, breakups, all that. So we expect really just to be a dominant defense out there. So.
Confidence level. Tell me about the confidence of this team going forward.
I mean, probably best teachers is experience, if I'm not mistaken. So with mainly most of our starters coming back, a lot of experience on that defensive side. We know what we can do. We know the players we have. Dudes like Devontae Reed, George Douglas, Troy Brown. We got the pieces, we got the parts, and a couple other dudes, and we expect them to do great things. So.
Khalil, Coach said you guys love to practice. Tell me about that, how important it is to the success that you've had, that you're willing to put in the work.
Well, Coach himself, he makes us like practice. Just the energy that he makes us bring. That we're going to bring it, but the energy that he makes us bring. Just to come out there every day and be able to compete and compete right now. Like I said, that's something that he really harps on is competing right now, focusing on the now. So competing in the now, so we can worry about the film, later. But at the same time, when we're focusing on that film, we're focusing on the now.
Troy said you play with a high motor. By design, how important is that? Do you sense that the defense kind of rallies around you because you play all out every down?
Yeah, definitely. That's a big advantage, especially when it comes to rushing the quarterback and setting the edge. Tackle may be done in maybe 3 plays, maybe longer series. I still got more to go at 8 plays, so that helps a little bit. Definitely, we got a bunch of high motor dudes on the team. That's something we preach. That's something we run the ball. We attack the ball as a defense. We ball hawks. The ball's a big magnet on the field. So, everybody going to give their all. That's how we train. That's how we practice. And we practice how we play. So.
Troy Hairston, Khalil Pimpleton, appreciate the time.
No, we
guys.
Appreciate you.
Best of luck in 2021.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, Mid-American Conference Media Day continues from Ford Field here on MLive as well as cleveland.com. Stay with us.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
MAC Football Media Day continues. We turn our attention to the Kent State Golden Flashes and head coach Sean Lewis. Coach, fourth year with the Golden Flashes, 3-1 a season ago in that COVID-shortened season. Did you find things that you build on to move into this year in last year's season?
Yeah, I think there's always things that you can take from, lessons that you can learn, that we're able to really use ever since January. Since we've been back, we've had a sense of normalcy that we've been able to, use 2020, lots of opportunities, experiences that we've been really able to go forward, grow from, and be better as we head into 2021 here.
You look at it, you have a veteran quarterback back in Dustin Crum, and his completion percentage. When you're mentioned with Mac Jones and Zach Wilson, first-round picks, that's pretty good company to be in. Tell me how good of a quarterback Dustin Crum is.
He's phenomenal. He's an exceptional leader. Our guys gravitate towards him. He's meticulous in his game day preparation and his process and what he does year round. Like I really credit to him, his self-awareness, his situational awareness to where he's always asking where he can get better. He challenges me every single day as a coach, which is exactly what you want, to where he wants to grow, he wants to improve, he wants to get better, and he does not rest on past successes. So he's really good. We're not sitting here and people aren't saying the things that they're saying about our program. It's not for him.
Let's talk about some of the areas that you think will be strengths, and then also some of the areas where you say, man, if we get this headed in the right direction, we're going to be a really, really good football team.
Sure. I really like our guys up front offensively. I think we have a talented running back room, and just the cohesiveness of the number of returners and the amount of snaps that guys have played offensively for us, I think is really positive. I think our back end with KJ Sherrill coming back, who's with us here, he's a team leader, a captain, really kind of the quarterback on that side of the ball to get the guys set from top down. Our secondary is going to be a strength. Looking forward to blending some new talent that we've been able to acquire and get into our organization, since we've gotten rolling here in January. And if we come together and really learn the nuances and the details that kind of got a little bit broken with the philosophical change that we had defensively last year, I'm excited to watch those guys attack and grow, and for special teams to continue to be an advantage for us and help us find the right side in more afternoons than not.
You and I were kind of laughing, fourth year at Kent State. It doesn't seem like you've been here that long. Are you happy with the progression that you've seen? I would think you would be. You won a bowl game for the first time. And, are you happy with where the program sits here?
You know how we coaches are. Happy is a very loose term, but no, I'm proud. I'm really proud of the work that our people within our building have done. The staff has been phenomenal. We've been able to keep a lot of continuity, so I think that's been great for our kids' development, so that there's consistency and continuity with the staff that helps them grow. The support that we've had from our president all the way through our community has been phenomenal. And for us to take a positive step every single year, and again, in 4 quick years, the old cliche of, time flies when you're having fun. I'm very fortunate to lead these guys and to do what we do. So it doesn't seem like we're going into year 4 here, but pleased with where we're at. Still haven't accomplished a whole lot, and we need to go prove it, this season.
When in a couple weeks, you're going to go into camp and get ready for the season. What's the message? What is the message to the Golden Flashes in 2021?
It really hasn't changed in 2021 from the time that we begun. We like to live with a purpose day in and day out, and that starts with being the alpha, which for us is to improve and perform today. To come together and execute with conviction as a family, as a Flash Fest family, and then no matter what adversity throws our way, we got to go harder, longer. That's how we define toughness. So those 3 core beliefs beliefs or those purposes, if you will, that's what drives us day in and day out, and that's the most important thing as we go forward and come together as a 2021 Flash Fest family and team this year.
So I got to ask you, the non-conference schedule, you're at Texas A&M, you're
Yep.
at Iowa, and you're at Maryland.
Yep.
That's pretty meat grinder getting you ready for Mid-American Conference play.
Those are great opportunities, right? Great opportunities to go out and test ourselves and challenge ourselves, and it gives our kids great motivation and great stages to go shine on. You know, those are big stages. Those are great opponents, and ever since we've been together at Kent State, our kids rise to those occasions because they're trained the right way. And looking forward to getting to training camp and getting this team trained up for those opportunities that are coming.
Sean Lewis, head coach of the Kent State Golden Flashes. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Best of luck in 2021.
Appreciate it.
We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. On the other side of the break, we will hear from a couple of the Golden Flashes players. Mac Media Day continues on cleveland.com as well as MLive. Stay with us.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line, a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Mac Media Day continues from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Pleased to be joined by Dustin Crum, quarterback, KJ Sherrill, safety from the Kent State Golden Flashes. KJ, tell me about this defense. What do you expect the Golden Flashes defense to look like out on the field when it's playing the way you want it to play this season?
We expect to be flying around the field, getting a lot of takeaways and running to the ball. Running to the ball, that creates a lot of opportunities, and we can make plays just by running to the ball.
Dustin, you came back to get another year. What do you want to see from yourself? Everybody's trying to get better. What areas do you try to improve on? I mean, you were tied for second or third in the NCAA in completion percentage with a couple of first-round picks. What are you working at to get even better at?
I would say overall, one of my biggest things I'm trying to focus on is just leadership. I mean, obviously being around for a while now, just being able to kind of be a calming voice for all the guys, whether it's offense, defense, really everyone, and just kind of be able to help us navigate the storm a little bit.
This is for both of you guys. What about confidence level of this group, and what do you want to see from yourselves?
I mean, for me, coming off an injury, I just want to see myself get back to where I was and even get better, because I was playing good football at my end of my junior year, and I just knew the senior year was going to be special, and I couldn't do it because of my injury, but this year is going to be special for me.
Yeah, I would just say taking that next step. I mean, we've been to a bowl game now, won a bowl game, so I think the next step is just trying to win our division and make it to the conference championship game, and that's just going to start with doing the little things right, and like I said, just being a leader that everyone can kind of rely on.
Last year, 3-3 in that COVID kind of goofy, shortened season. Were there things that you as a team can take away from that and grow from, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the season last year presented tons of adversity and tons of unknowns at times, so just be able to handle that and kind of weather that will be huge for us, I think, and it allowed a lot of guys to grow up a lot faster than maybe normal. So I think it'll help us from a maturity standpoint for sure.
KJ, are you completely healthy, and if so, how nice is it to feel like you should feel when you go out on the field and do football?
Yeah, I'm pretty much completely healthy. I've been doing everything in the summer workouts. It's just been great to be out there with my guys, man. Being off the field last year, just watching, giving them knowledge from the sideline, it was hard, but I still had to do my thing on the sideline, help them out. But being on the field, it just feels great to be back.
I asked KJ about the defense.
Yeah.
What about this offense, Dustin? What do you expect this offense to be like? What are going to be some strengths?
Yeah. I mean, I think it all starts up front. I mean, we have a lot of guys coming back up front and a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, so be able to have that, especially as a quarterback, to lean on a little bit will be pretty comforting. And then I mean, we're real deep in receivers and running backs, and so really just looking to kind of grow on what we did last year and just continue to take that next step.
KJ, it's Coach Lewis's fourth year. Have you seen kind of the program continue to ascend? You've been here most of the time with them. Tell me about where the program was, where it is now, and where it's headed.
Yeah, Coach Lewis just told us 4 years ago when he came to Media Day, we were projected last. That was his first Media Day. And today we're projected to win the East. And this is the first time ever in program history. So every year we clearly got better, and we just sticking to the process. Like, we do the little things, we focus on the little things, just focus on us, not the other team, just focus on us and improving and performing today, and yeah.
So Dustin, you are projected to win the East, the MAC East. How do you approach that? And people are they're gonna be looking for Kent State on their schedule. So,
I mean, like KJ said, kind of going from first to last and all that entails. It's been a little bit of a different perspective for sure. But I think we're just looking forward to the challenge of it. Just kind of be able to focus on the day in and day out monotony and every little thing we got to do to just kind of stay level-headed and take it game by game. I think that'll be huge for us, and just to keep the right mindset at all times.
Dustin Crum, KJ Sherrill, guys, appreciate the time.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck in 2021 to the Golden Flashes.
Thank you.
We're all out of time from Mid-American Conference Media Day from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Have a great night, everybody.